Mrs. Heisey, and today I am going to show you guys the first 2 steps in designing our lamp. What you should have gotten is a packet that looks like this. Make sure you put your name on your packet. If you leave it laying around and it has no name on it, I just throw it right in the trash. On the inside of this packet, you will notice that there are step-by-step directions on how to make the lamp. And then we also have this thing that's on here. It's called a bill of material. I'm going to show you guys in the next video on how to fill out this actual bill of material. If you take a look on the front here, when making our lamp, we need to come up with some drawings. There's an example of just kind of like a thumbnail sketch on the front of this. That's one of our very first steps. Before we actually get into the designing, I just want to show you a couple examples. All right, we have a lamp right here. Okay, that just looks like a baseball bat. The base part on here just looks like a glove. There's another one that's very similar to that, but a little bit different. The base looks like a glove. We actually have a baseball right here, and instead of it being a baseball bat, it's just a plain rectangle. The next thing, we have one here that's just got a rectangle for a base, and then the upright part right here is just a nice design. Whatever you want to do for designing your lamp, that is completely up to you, all right? Everything you can choose. I mean, the sky is the limit. Just make sure that it is school appropriate. All right, by taking a look at our front page, you will notice that there are 3 parts to our lamp on here. We have a base, that's what's going to be the bottom part. We have an upright, that's what's going to house our electrical. And then we have an upright design. You don't have to have an upright design if you don't want to. The one nice thing about this, if you want to keep your lamp simple, towards the end you can wood burn, words or designs or things like that in there. So it's completely up to you. Now, on our directions, if you open up the packet, the very first one says, draw 4 thumbnail sketches. Thumbnails must include dimensions. Well, if you had me in 6th grade, then you'll know that dimensions are your measurements, all right? And then you need to have your thumbnails signed by the instructor. So, an example, you're going to get a scrap piece of paper. I have some located here up in the front of the room, all right? And then, I'll do a darker color. All right, so, see, this is our sheet of paper. I'm just going to split my sheet of paper into 4 areas. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'm going to design 4 different lamp options. This is just so you get creative, all right? So let's just say this is my base right here, and then I just want a very simple lamp like that. Okay? At this point, I would put my measurements on here. I want my base to be about, say, 6 inches. Now, bases must be 5 inches by 5 inches. If we have them too small, it'll start to be a little top heavy on our lamp and your lamps will fall over. So you can have them larger, but they must be a minimum of 5 inches by 5 inches. So that would be one design. Then I need to put my measurement for my upright. Well, what I'm going to do here, the pipe that comes with the kit, you'll notice that when we do our wiring, there will be a pipe that goes all the way through here. It attaches the socket part on the top and it attaches our base to the bottom. There is a pipe that comes in there that's 12 inches. So I need to make sure that my upright can be no larger than 11 1/4. All right, 11 1/4 of an inch. So everybody's upright is going to be the same height, but you can have any type of design that you would like. So it must be 11 1/4. Now let's say over here, I want my upright to be like that. Okay, I'm okay with designs like this, but you have to think. In the middle is going to be a pipe that goes through it. My pipe's going to be seen on the outside. So this right now is just a thumbnail sketch, so it's okay. But if you want your real lamp to have curves on it, you must make sure that it's wider like that. All right, then I would put my measurements on there, and let's say that's 7 inches by 11 1/4, and my width is going to be, let's say, 4 inches. My width over here, I forgot to add that on there, minimum of 2 inches. It's got to be at least 2 inches wide. All right, then let's say over here, I want to make a football. We can definitely do that, but we have to have a flat surface here and a flat surface up there on top. Then my last one, zigzag. As you can see, I'm not really an artist, and I'm going kind of fast. So there, I went ahead, I made my things. Pretend I went ahead and put my measurements on there, all right, for time's sake. Now, what you would do is you'd bring this up to the instructor, show us, and we will say, okay, which one would you like to do? Whatever one it is, then I go ahead and I sign off on it. All right. So I would do that, sign off on it. Then you would grab however many pieces of paper you need. Now each part of your lamp is going to need a separate sheet of paper. So if you have a base, that would be one sheet of paper. Your upright would be a second sheet of paper. And if you had some type of design, I say like Green Bay Packers up there, then we would need a third sheet of paper. Once we have the paper, you're going to go ahead and you're going to draw each of your parts to exact size on those sheets of paper. So I like to label mine on the top. Right. Okay, now I know my upright has to be 11 1/4. And let's say I wanted to go with that curvy design. So I'm going to say that it was 4 inches. I'm going to make a box. That's exactly the size that I need right here. Then I can go ahead and I can draw my design inside of that box. All right, and then I know right here it is 4 inches by 11 1/4. Okay, by making these individual patterns, this is step number 2 on your directions. Okay, so these are my working patterns that I need. So here's my upright, I have it done. My next, I want to go ahead and I'm going to do a base. Label it at the top. Not only should you be labeling it, then make sure you put your name on your sheets of paper. My base, let's say I wanted to make a circle. I would go ahead and I want a circle that's 7 inches. Now a circle is kind of easy. You can actually just get a compass from me, or I'm sorry, a protractor from me, and I'll be happy to, compass, sorry. All right, let you use that. All right, and then you would just tell me what is the diameter of this. So I want to say that one was going to be 6 inches. Now, if you were going to, there, we'll just do this over, do some sort of design, maybe you wanted it to be squiggly, just create the box, whatever size it is that you need. Say this is 7 inches by 6 inches. All right, and then you could do your little design or your pattern to the inside of that. But you need to make sure you make it to exact size. Please use a ruler. Once you have all of those working patterns complete, then what you need to do is you need to cut them out. Once you've cut them out, make sure your name is on all of your pieces, and we will be using those to help make our lamp. So an example would be, here I have my upright design, all drawn out, cut out. I have my measurements to the inside of there. This way I know exactly what I need to cut. Here would be an example of my base. And then say I wanted an upright design. So if I put all this together, it would be my base on the bottom, my upright right here, and then I would have my upright design just like that. Okay? Once you get to this point, the next thing we need to do is the bill of materials. That's another video, so if you have any questions on the first 2 steps of the lamp design, please let the teacher know.